Have you noticed lately that getting out of a chair feels a little heavier than it used to? Or maybe you've been telling yourself that the fogginess in your head is just part of getting older. Perhaps your joints ache, your mood feels lower than usual, or you are exhausted by 3 in the afternoon no matter how much coffee you drink. Here's the question that might surprise you. What if none of that is normal aging? What if there is one hidden factor quietly living inside your body right now that is making all of those things worse? And what if your own doctor has never even mentioned it? This is Dr. Silas Redford Wellness, and today we are going to talk about something that affects millions of seniors across the country, yet almost nobody is talking about it openly. I am talking about a vitamin deficiency so common, so sneaky, and so dangerous that many researchers now call it the silent epidemic of the elderly. But here is what makes this truly heartbreaking. Most people who have this deficiency have no idea they have it. They go to their doctors, they describe their symptoms, and they are told to expect these changes. They are told it is just age. And the worst part is, they believe it. Let me tell you about a patient I will call Margaret. Margaret is 72 years old. She used to walk 2 miles every morning. She used to do crossword puzzles in 10 minutes flat. She had energy and joy and a sharp laugh that filled her whole house. But over 2 years, something changed. Slowly at first. She started dropping her keys more often. Her legs felt wobbly on the stairs. She began forgetting where she placed her glasses. Then came the numbness in her feet, a strange tingling sensation that kept her awake at night. Her doctor checked her thyroid, her blood sugar, her iron levels. Everything came back normal. So Margaret accepted the only answer she was given. You are just getting older. But here is the truth that changed everything for her. She was not getting older. She was starving, not for food, but for one specific vitamin her body desperately needed. What doctors rarely explain is that as we age, our ability to absorb nutrients from food changes dramatically. It is not your fault. You can eat the healthiest diet in the world, full of meat, eggs, dairy, and leafy greens, and still become dangerously deficient. There is one vitamin in particular that hides in plain sight. You have heard its name before, but you have probably never been told how critical it is for your energy, your memory, your balance, your mood, and even your vision. That vitamin is B12. And the hidden danger is this. Up to 40% of older adults have dangerously low levels of B12, and most of them will never be diagnosed because the standard blood test range used in many clinics is far too wide. That means you can be walking around with symptoms that ruin your quality of life while your doctor tells you that your levels are normal. But you know something is wrong. You have felt it for years. Stay with me here because in a moment I'm going to tell you the 3 warning signs that most people ignore until it is almost too late. But first I want to ask you something. If you have ever felt like your body is giving up on you for no good reason, please do me a favor right now. Hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. We are here to help you understand what is really happening inside your body so you can take back control. This channel exists because seniors like you deserve real answers, not just the same old line about aging. So go ahead and click subscribe. You will be glad you did. Now let us go back to Margaret. After 2 years of suffering, she finally saw a different specialist who ran one extra test, a simple blood test for active B12 levels. What they found shocked everyone. Her B12 was so low that her nervous system had begun to demyelinate. That means the protective coating around her nerves was literally dissolving. Think of your nerves like electrical wires. When the insulation wears off, the wires short out. That is why she was dropping things. That is why her feet tingled. That is why her memory was fading. And here is the frightening part. Once that nerve damage happens, it can become permanent if it is not caught in time. But when Margaret started treatment, something miraculous happened. Not overnight, but slowly. The fog in her head began to lift. Her energy crept back. After 6 months, she was walking 2 miles again. She told me something I will never forget. She said, I thought I was dying. Turns out I was just missing one vitamin the whole time. So why is this so common? Why are millions of seniors struggling with fatigue, brain fog, depression, balance issues, and chronic pain when the solution could be as simple as a vitamin? The answer has 2 parts. First, as we age, our stomachs produce less acid. That might sound like a good thing if you have heartburn, but stomach acid is essential for breaking down protein and releasing B12 from the food you eat. Without enough acid, that beautiful piece of salmon or that grass-fed steak passes right through you without giving up its B12. Second, millions of seniors take medications that block B12 absorption without even knowing it, Common heartburn drugs, diabetes medications, and even certain blood pressure pills can strip your body of this critical nutrient. Your doctor may have prescribed those pills to help you, but the side effects could be making you feel 10 years older than you really are. And the worst part is, no one connects the dots. You go back to the doctor with new symptoms, and they give you another pill. It is a vicious cycle that leaves you feeling worse, not better. But wait, there is something else most people do not understand. B12 deficiency does not always look like what you expect. Many doctors look for anemia or severe neurological problems, but early-stage deficiency is much more subtle. It shows up as low mood for no reason. It shows up as anxiety that never used to be there. It shows up as dizziness when you stand up too fast. It shows up as pale skin or sore tongue or ringing in your ears. Have you ever mentioned any of these things to your doctor and been told it is nothing? You are not crazy. You are not being dramatic. Your body is trying to tell you something, and now you finally know what to listen for. Let me share another example. A gentleman named Robert, 68 years old, was told he had early onset dementia. He was forgetting conversations, losing his car in the parking lot, and mixing up the names of his own grandchildren. His family was devastated. They started planning for the worst. But Robert's daughter found an article about B12 and insisted on the test. His level was so low the lab ran it twice to make sure. After 3 months of proper supplementation, his memory improved dramatically. He is not perfect, but he is back. He is playing cards with his friends. He is driving himself to the grocery store. His grandchildren have their grandfather back. Here is what I want you to take away from Robert's story. Sometimes the scariest diagnoses have surprisingly simple explanations, but you have to be your own advocate. You have to ask the right questions. And the most important question you can ask your doctor at your next appointment is this: can you check my active B12 level, not just my total B12, but the active form? Now, you might be wondering, can I just eat more meat or take a multivitamin and fix this? I wish it were that simple, but here is the reality. For many seniors, even high-dose oral B12 is not enough because the absorption problem is in your gut, not in your food. You can swallow all the pills in the world, but if your stomach cannot pull the vitamin out and your intestines cannot transport it into your blood, you are just making expensive urine. That is why many experts recommend sublingual drops or sprays that absorb directly through the lining of your mouth, bypassing the gut entirely. And for those with severe deficiency or neurological symptoms, injections are often the gold standard. But here is the critical warning. Do not go out and buy a bunch of supplements without testing first. Too much B12 is generally safe because it is water soluble, but you need to know what you are dealing with. You need to know if something else is causing your symptoms. Never self-diagnose a condition that could be something more serious. This is the part of the video where I want you to really listen. If you have been suffering in silence, if you have been telling yourself that feeling terrible is just part of getting older, I need you to stop that thought right now. Growing older does not mean growing weaker. It does not mean losing your mind or your joy or your independence. Yes, our bodies change, but chronic fatigue, memory loss, nerve pain, and depression are not normal at any age. They are signals, and when you know what those signals mean, you can do something about them. That is why we created this channel. Dr. Silas Redford Wellness exists to give you the information that busy doctors often do not have time to share. Because you deserve to live your 70s and 80s and 90s with energy and purpose, not just surviving, but truly thriving. Before we wrap up, let me give you 3 simple action steps you can take starting tomorrow. Number 1, make an appointment with your doctor and specifically ask for a serum B12 test, and if possible, a methylmalonic acid test or homocysteine test, because those are even better markers of true deficiency. Number 2, if your levels are low normal, meaning below 500 picograms per milliliter, do not accept that as fine. Many experts say seniors should aim for levels above 600 to avoid symptoms. And number 3, start paying attention to your body. That tingling in your feet, that brain fog in the afternoon, that muscle weakness that makes you hold the railing a little tighter. Those are not punishments for getting older. Those are messages, and now you finally know how to read them. I want to hear from you. Have you ever struggled with low energy or memory issues that doctors could not explain? Does any of this sound familiar to you? Take a moment and share your experience in the comments below. Your story could help someone else who is too afraid to speak up. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend or a family member who might be suffering in silence. You could change their life with one simple share. That is what this community is all about. Looking out for each other, sharing what we learn, and growing older with strength and dignity. As we close today, I want to leave you with this one thought. You are not broken. You are not just falling apart. Your body is an incredibly wise system that is always trying to communicate with you. And now you know one of the most common, most overlooked, and most treatable reasons that seniors feel unwell. Small changes lead to big results. One test, one conversation with your doctor, one decision to take yourself seriously again, that is all it takes to start a new chapter. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and remember, your best years are not behind you. They are still ahead, waiting for you to claim them. This is Dr. Silas Redford Wellness, wishing you health and hope until next time.